Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Tarot. I hope all of you are doing very well. This is going to be a much asked for reading. It is for what's the word? I really shouldn't say general energy, but it's a reading to see what's going on with all the drama that's happening within the United States, with all those bridges falling down and this and that and all that weird stuff going on, right? So I just want to do a reading for that. I have been asked quite a few times. I said, all right, I'll get to it. So I suppose today is the day for it. So here we go. Let's get started. I had I remember, I don't know whether I said it on one of the videos I did, or whether I said it while I was talking to a friend of mine. I don't remember. She should be able to attest to it. I had told her that there was going to be more of those situations that are going to occur. And a couple of days later, she sends me this blurb of information saying, oh my God, there's another bridge that's, been whatever, destroyed, whatever. So I was like, okay, there we go. There is, what's the word? There is the confirmation, right? It's very unfortunate. There's nothing to laugh about. Unfortunately, people have lost their lives. But I kept saying, it's I don't for one moment believe it was genuinely a mechanical situation or an error that happened. It's not. I did say that it was a form of, I don't know if YouTube is going to censor this video, but I truly believe it is some sort of a cyber attack, or, one of those nefarious activities. Let's put it that way. I do believe we should be very cautious until December, because I think there's something else also that's in the pipeline that no, I shouldn't say in the pipeline, because it's not like I'm organizing it. There's something else that's brewing, that's the right word, that I do believe very strongly is going to erupt and cause a lot of issues for a lot of people within the United States of America. This whole drama with the border being left open and all that has put us in so much jeopardy. It has weakened our security. I do not agree with what the government is doing with regards to the border. It's unbelievable, the drama that's going on. I'm from Texas, so we see all that's going on as the rest of the world. And it's very unfair. And look at all the crime sprees these people go on, all these criminal folks who are crossing the border. Now, am I going to sit here and say every single one of those people who are crossing the border is a criminal? No. But for the most part, based on the statistics, looks like they are up to no mischief, right? They don't have good intentions when they come here. Lord knows how many of them how many of those who have gotten away really are terrorists. We don't know that, right? So it's not something I'm too happy about, like most Americans. And I truly believe that this whole border situation has left us wide open for attack within the United States. So I'm sticking to it. You can agree with me, disagree, believe me, don't believe me, I don't care, right? These are my observations, my opinions. These are allegedlies. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. And this is for entertainment purposes only. So let's get on with this and see what the general energy is with regards to all that's going on, okay? We have Sagittarius. I am recording on both cameras, so let's, okay. We have Gemini. Okay, I'm going to do this. Uranus. That's a hard hitter though. Taurus. Pisces. Yeah. Like I have said many a time, right? Okay, let's back up. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It's a fire sign. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, it is an air sign. We have Uranus. Uranus rules Aquarius along with Saturn, and Uranus is all about confusion, illusion, and dreams and all kinds of weird stuff. Taurus is an earth sign which is ruled by Venus, as we know. Then we have Pisces, which is a water sign ruled by the moon. So not by the moon, by Jupiter and by Neptune. I don't know why I said moon, because we have all this drama going on in Pisces, right? Anywho, let's back up. So America, July 4th, right, is considered to be a Cancer sun sign, right, for the country. So when we look at these cards over here, these are hard hitters, and these are not necessarily energies that are supportive to Cancerians, except for, I would say, Sagittarius, because, you know, there's a little bit of a connection over there, but it's not necessarily the right connection. Now, again, a lot of people will say, well, that doesn't make sense. This is my reading, so take it for what it is. So we do have the Hangman. We have the World card. We have the Devil. We have the Empress, and then we have the 5, which is the Hierophant. So let me explain. Hang on, y'all. I'm kind of trying to be a little bit specific about how I arrange these cards here so I can see them all clearly. I hope y'all can hear me. I hope my voice is coming out clear. Sagittarius is 6th house from Cancer, and 6th house does talk about discipline, does talk about work, does talk about habits, etc. And that's all. And then along with that, here we have the Hangman. So whatever it is that the country had in place, checks and measures, okay, to ensure that such things do not happen, whether it is policies and procedures, whether it is certain agencies who are responsible for the safety of, you know, our bridges, our transportation, our whatever checks and measures that have been put for those areas of the American life, American people, the country as a whole, have been put on hold. It's like, you know, just don't necessarily focus on those checks and measures. Don't focus on the policies and procedures. Let's just kind of disregard it. Let's not focus so much about it. So it's like disregard for rules and regulations, policies and procedures, checks and measures, purposefully, with intention. Then we have Gemini, right? Gemini is the 12th house for Cancer. Remember, America is July 4th. We'll take July 4th as the birthday for America, right? And 12th house is all about full circle. It's completions. It talks about hidden stuff that is things hidden behind the scenes, the supports, the stuff, the ongoings, the workings going on behind the scenes. And it does talk about karma. 12th house is the karma, and you have things coming full circle. Now along with that, I have the World card over here, and the World card, as we know, is Saturn, and that also is talks about completions. It talks about, you know, that sort of stuff. It talks about rewards because of all the hard work and effort that has been put in. Now here's the thing, rewards because of the effort and hard work that has put in could be could have a negative connotation and a positive connotation. If somebody is up to criminal activities and nefarious activities, and they put a lot of hard work and effort into making that come to fruition, then success applies there. If it is positive, like ensuring that these things don't happen, you put in a lot of checks and measures to make sure these kind of criminal activities don't slip through the cracks, etc., etc. Then there too, that could be, you know, completions, all the things coming, successes coming due to that, right? So what I'm trying to say is success could be both ways, to the negative stuff and the positive stuff too. So, but in this case, I do believe it's the negative stuff. Then we have Uranus. Remember, Uranus is all about sudden shocks and changes. And right with the Uranus card, we have the Devil card, which is Capricorn, right? And as we know, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now, keep in mind, Uranus and Saturn rules Aquarius. So there is a lot of, what's the word I want to look at? Camaraderie going on here. So these two are kind of heavy hitters, right? Saturn and Uranus. So it's like they are, okay, let's go double whammy, let's go whole hog. And it also does talk about control. So through the process of sudden changes and shocks, a certain faction, a certain entity, a certain group is able to control the general public. Then we have Taurus. Now Taurus, as we know, is ruled by Venus. Now Taurus is 11th house for Cancer, and the 11th house talks about groups and like-minded people, etc., etc., right? And right there we have the Empress, and the Empress is also ruled by Venus. So it does talk about abundance, security, luxury, beauty, all the good things that come to life, right? Things being created, procreated, things being processed, things being worked on so that it can come to life and come to fruition. And it's very, very strong that this has got to do with the earth element, right? So whatever all this drama is going on is definitely going to affect the earth element. And Taurus is also associated with real estate, very strongly real estate. So I do believe, based on whatever is going on over here, is definitely going to be affecting our real estate market for sure, and not necessarily in a very good way. Then after that we have Pisces, and then we have the Pope. Now Pisces is, yes, Cancer is a water sign, and Pisces is a water sign as well. So Pisces is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th house from Cancer. Now keep in mind, the 9th house does talk about the intellect. It talks about, thinking, projecting the future, thinking about the philosophical aspects, expansions, that sort of stuff. But philosophy not necessarily in a positive way. It's like trying to imprint, trying to force a certain way of thinking for the masses. Okay, so it's like almost saying, no, this is what you need to believe, because this is the truth. I don't need you to think for yourself. I'm telling you what to assume, what to think, and this is the right thought process. So you need to think like this. I don't know if I'm making sense. And then we have 5, the Hierophant. Hierophant is also ruled by Taurus, and Hierophant does talk about institutions, people in power, people, organizations, religion. It does talk about, again, as I said, if it is a Taurus energy, again, earth, right? Strong ties to the earth. So I do believe now, y'all, let me say this before I go any further. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are allegedly. These are my observations and my opinions. Do your own due diligence, do your own research, form your own conclusions, okay? If you disagree with what I'm saying, if you think there's a whole bah humbug, right, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinions. Have at it, right? You're entitled to your opinions, as I'm entitled to my opinions. I will not tolerate people coming and leaving comments and saying nasty things on this. I'm just going to erase your comments and stop you from block, right? Because I just don't want that energy around. So take it or leave it, believe it or not, okay? I'm just going to say that. And this is not an attempt at fear mongering. It's not. This is just based on the cards I'm seeing, and I'm going to show those cards just now. So, okay, and I'm going to go a little bit further too. I kind of get a little. So what's been going on is I've been having a little bit of a snafu, so I had to stop, reconfigure everything and start again, but the cards are as they are. I was showing these cards anyway, so these are the cards, okay? Okay, now I have a recording. Oh, is it recording? I hope so. Recording on both my cameras, so I hope. I'm telling you, when I do readings like this, there's always some sort of a technical glitch, and I'm like, why though? Almost seems strange, right? But anyway, let's all right, let's get on with this. I want to go back to this set for a brief second, the Sagittarius and the Hangman. So if anything has been put on hold, if things have been kind of shelved, if certain policies and procedures and checks and measures have been asked to stop, it's going to be blocked for a little bit, blocked or be in a situation where there's a lot of what's the word, put on hold, and there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of being in a state of your hands tied behind your back, where you can't really take action. So if there are any authorities, like I'm not talking about the certain people sitting in the White House, but the other authorities, as in other other departments within the country, that are responsible for our safekeeping, this, that, and the other, it almost feels like they've been given the orders to sit still and sit quiet and say nothing. I wanted to bring that to your attention. Now with the Pisces and with the Hierophant card, y'all, this does talk a lot. I don't know whether I left off with this, but I will say it again. I'm drawn back to those two cards, and that tells me, now keep in mind, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter as well as Neptune, right? We start off with Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. We end with Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, and then we have the Hierophant, Taurus. Again, institutions, etc., etc. Now keep in mind, y'all, when we talk about the ninth house, I equate it to central intelligence, okay, be it the CIA or FBI or whatever, central intelligence. So the organizations that are responsible for that, for some reason, whatever they have been saying has not been taken seriously. That's what I'm getting here. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I'm not fear-mongering, anything like that. This is just allegedly. These are my observations, my opinions based on what I'm seeing here in my cards. You do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. So the the intelligence agencies, the agencies that are responsible for gathering intelligence and for the safety and security of the American country, the people, etc. It's like they're not being taken seriously, and the other hand of it is there is going to be as much as the garnering of information globally, like from a global perspective, so from across the world, they've gathered all that information, they have the information, they presented it, they're like, nah, you keep quiet and sit down, that sort of a thing. So that's not looking too good for me. It makes me very, very nervous, I'm just saying. I also wanted to say that we do have a partial solar eclipse on September 17th in Pisces, right? So I'm going to say September, around that solar eclipse, we're going to have to be, I do expect some disturbance, okay? Some disturbance, some upheaval, because eclipse is removing something. It's to eclipse something out of your life, right? It is, eclipse basically means to remove, to eliminate, to destroy even that which does not behoove you, and also that which is not strong, that life cycle, that the purpose, the premise of its existence is over and done with. We need to eliminate it. So it makes me very nervous, right? So I'm very concerned. as an American, and not just for myself, but for the safety and security of all Americans, all Americans. So no matter what your demographic is, I truly believe that what's happening in the border and what's going on over there, that is really going to jeopardize, if it hasn't already, and this is common knowledge by now, we all know about it, right? Is this thing recording? Yeah. It is going to shake up, if it hasn't already, and I think it has, what we as individuals take for granted, and that feeling of security is going to be really, really shook up. Now, I'm talking about Uranus, I'm talking about Saturn, I'm talking about Pluto. These are very strong energies, right? And so when you have such heavy hitters, okay, in terms of the planets like doing what they do, and what they love doing, and what their energy is and the energy they bring, these are some like serious heavy energies. So I'm going to preface this by saying that, again, do your own research, do your own due diligence. This is not fear mongering, but I want to say that I individually am going to be on high alert, right? So pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to what's going on, whatever form of transportation you use, etc. And it's not just transportation. I do also believe that this is going to absolutely certainly affect our earth, our land, our real estate primarily, and whatever comes from the earth. And what I mean by that is the oil resources that we have. I do believe we are going to be affected even as far as that is concerned. So let's get on with this and see. Yeah, if I keep looking up over here, it's probably because I'm just making sure that both these things are recording. I actually wanted to do the live, but I was like, this is going to be hot if I do it live. And on a Tuesday night, I was like, no, I'll just do a video and maybe some other time. But I don't foresee a big event happening like we saw way back a couple decades ago almost, right? They're going to be scattered around. That's what I say. And that's what I see, and obviously it's come to fruition even because we've seen the couple of other bridges also incidences. So hello, yeah, I'm holding the cards up, and central to all of this we have Uranus, and then we have the devil card. So what is Uranus? Uranus is rules Aquarius. Now Aquarius is an air sign, and it does talk about sudden changes and shocks. And the 15, the devil card, is a Capricorn energy. It talks about letting go. It talks about moving forward. It talks about on the positive side, it talks about liberation. It talks about having the ability to break free on a positive side. Now, not all energies are always negative. You have the positive and the negative side to every single energy, every single card, every single, planet, right? So, but on the negative side, it does say that what we have come to depend on, what we have come to find comfort and solace and security, that dependence and taken for granted, that is going to be really shook up. That is something that's really, really going to that's where we're going to get the jolt from. That's where we're going to kind of see the, oh shoot, that type of a situation. But having said that, if the powers to be recognized, okay, let me back up. I have always believed that true power does not lie with the king, but with the kingmakers. So go figure that one out. Having said that, if the powers that be, okay, say, okay, let's fix this, we can fix it. Is it going to be too late? Yeah, but better late than never is what I'm going to say. But this sign, hang on, let me get my other little chart around. Ow. Oh no, come on, okay. Again, with that Mercury, right, over there, I'm going to say that quick action is required. But that's my problem. I don't foresee the powers that be are going to act as quickly as they should. I seriously believe that our intelligence agencies are being restricted, are being ignored, are being told, hurry up and sit down, or, not being taken seriously. And that's the biggest mistake. So, those who know, right, y'all? And those who don't know, well, you better hurry up and know, because if you don't know, you're basically rogered. Oh, come on, buddy. See, and September 17th, right? So, and then we also have the solar eclipse coming up on April 8th, and that is in Aries. So Aries is 12, 11, 10th house. 10th house is, yeah, it's, I do believe our economy is going to, as much as we may say that, the economy is fine, yada yada, inflation is up, is down, whatever, this series of events will definitely affect us. It's definitely going to affect the real estate market too. Absolutely, I do believe. And whatever it is that comes out of the earth now, I'm more likely to say oil than water here. So does that mean that those particular reserves are going to be affected? As I say that, the barrel, oh my goodness. Watch out for gas prices, y'all. Energy prices. Energy resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 6. Let me just make some more space over here, okay? Just bear with me. Simply because I want to lay out these cards. I was thinking about trying to do some serious technology improvements so that even though I have a small table here, y'all could kind of, if I could project on something, y'all could see everything. And I don't know if it's a bright idea, but oh my God. Anyway, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They want me to take 7, 8, 9. I will take 7, 8, 9. Eight, 9. These are what I'm looking at right here. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it clearly. Is a completely different type of cards. I'm not going to show it to everybody, but it's the energy here is your head is stuck in the clouds. Okay, the authorities, whoever is at the helm, it's like there is information. I am bringing you information, but there's a particular faction that's saying, yeah, you're full of air, your head is stuck in the clouds. I don't care. I'm not going to pay much attention to you. But with the Kings of the East, I will say this whole drama that's going on in the Middle East, y'all, with Israel and the other thing, it's not going to go away. It's not going to subside. One way or the other, I do believe we are. Well, obviously, it's all out in the news. We know that. I mean, the United States is one way or the other going to be drawn into that. But here's the thing. I'm going to go so far as to say airstrikes, okay? That's going to cause some airstrikes situation. So, which says that, okay, we really got to watch out. We really need to be careful. Y'all, I'm actually kind of in a way feeling a little bit apprehensive doing this right now based on, I mean, what I'm seeing here, because it almost sounds like I'm fear mongering, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to get into trouble. Like I said, these are just allegedly my observations and my opinions. This is entertainment. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. I have to cover my base, okay? I'm just saying. But this drama that's going on between the kings of the East is not going to get resolved. In fact, it's going to get aggravated even more. And as much as, you know, there is a faction within the United States that says, you know, we got to, I was going to say mine for our own oil, but, you know, dig our own wells or whatever, utilize our own fuel resources, fossil fuel resources. There's another aspect that says, no, we shouldn't, right? Clearly, politically, even the parties. But let me tell you, y'all, that is going to cause us a lot of issues, okay? I will not be surprised if our fuel prices are really, if our resources, if the source or the resource of our reserves are going to be affected. I'll stop at that. Then we have this other card here, which is telling me because of the way our resources are going to be affected, the source of our resources are going to be affected, we are literally going to be starved, thirsting for fuel, thirsting for water, thirsting for fuel, right? Now, water is also fuel for our bodies, and fuel is fuel for our commerce. So whichever way you look at it, our fuel is definitely going to be, fuel resources, reserves are going to be greatly affected. Either really, truly greatly affected because they are being depleted, or due to some other nefarious reasons, and go figure that one out. Then we have this thing for this card that shows me, obviously there is, again, I go back to the drama that's going on in the Middle East. It becomes a bargaining tool. This whole, well, fuel has always, okay, fossil fuel has always been a major bargaining tool ever since the OPEC was formed. I won't get into that, but, you know, since before that even. But now it's a question of, are we going to be smart and do something about these resources and figure it out ourselves and source it for ourselves and rely on ourselves? Or are we going to have to negotiate and literally sell out to facilitate procuring it from outside without depleting our own reserves? There's a lot of factions that are going to be on opposite end of the spectrum, and they don't want to kind of be meet in the middle ground, because neither one is wrong, neither one is right type of a situation. But let me tell you, y'all, our involvement, our dependence with the war that's going on in the Middle East, with the drama that's going on between Ukraine and Russia, is not going to resolve. We are actually digging ourselves in a little bit deeper, and it's actually going to backfire on us. Then we have this 9, which does talk about illumination. There is going to be a public outcry, a revolt of some sorts, a backlash of some sorts, because people are like, you know, we can't be sitting on our high knees doing a bunch of nothing. Okay, we just can't be sitting on our high knees doing a bunch of nothing. It's almost like forcing the hand of the government or the authorities to do something, to take proactive measures and do it. And the saddest part is, it's like everything almost blows up to bits, and then they wake up and say, oh, okay, let's fix the problem. It's like, well, you had an opportunity to you know, you could have turned back, you could have taken that U-turn way back when, and you wouldn't be in the stinky situation that you have put us all in. I do believe this is going to affect us, the general public, the American population. I truly believe it does. It's very unfortunate. I hope I'm wrong, but based on what I'm seeing here, the illumination, the enlightenment, the whatever is is going to come at a time when it's a little too little, a little too late. But I do believe that people are going to wake up and say, what, you put us in this situation. I'm surprised there hasn't been a public outcry. I wouldn't use the word revolt because that would again be like, oh God, she's fear-mongering. No, but we really need to pay attention, y'all. We really need to pay attention to what's going on, that sort of stuff. I will say though, when the shit hits the fan, it hits the fan. What are you going to do, right? It's already hit, it's already a hot mess. What are you going to do? And then it's a question of, how they say, like, we're going to, what's the word? We're on a search mission. We're searching for the lost person, and then it becomes a recovery mission. That's what I see happening over here, which is very unfortunate. But I don't understand why the authorities, when I say the authority, I mean the government, are so lackadaisical about it. Yes, we know. Yes, okay. Let's not get into, are you a Democrat, are you a Republican? I'm not getting into any of that. We're all entitled to our opinions and our whatever. But what is the reason? What is the real reason why the government, whoever's sitting there in power, is being so lazy, so slow to take action, to implement what's obvious to every single person? That, dude, what are you doing sitting on your hiney and doing nothing about it? Why can't you take action? It can get more clearer than this. It almost seems like, I don't care what you complain about. I'm just not going to do anything about it. That's the thing. But we end up getting we have temperance here, followed by temperance we have this other situation that says, what are the deadly sins, and pride is another thing here. This great need to want to balance the books, but balance the books not in the best interest of the public. Balance the books for your own nefarious reasons is what is causing all this drama. And it's not just one individual who's sitting at the helm of, sitting on the throne, in the Oval Office, if you will. There is a group, there is a faction. So they are trying very desperately to balance the whole equation and to temper it and say, all right, particularly keeping in terms of the kings of the East and the fuel hub, the fossil fuel hub, the barrels where all the oils come from, trying to keep them balanced, trying to keep those powers, we know which are the countries that has the most oil resources, and let me throw in Venezuela here too, trying to keep them happy. But you can't. At some point in time, you have to take a stance. Like, I think soft pedaling and trying to say, oh, I'm going to be neutral, I'm going to be a cat on the wall and just sit here. Unfortunately, we are past that. This is the time when we have to take a stance. But the problem is this particular government is not going to do that. And I know we started off with the bridge issue and look where we're heading, but this is what has caused this inaction, this not wanting to be proactive for ulterior motives is what has caused the present situation. And we are going to see a few more of these little, I say little because I don't want to fearmonger. We're going to see a few disturbances around, which is truly going to affect us. I mean, I believe it does. Then we have this situation over here, which says, well, now it's a question of my pride. What do I do? Where do I go from here? So at that point in time, then we don't have the upper hand in negotiation. So we are going to lose out even further. And when we as a government, as a country, as an economy lose out even further, the ripple effect, right? Look at where our debt is. I can't even count those numbers. I forgot. I don't know how many trillions of dollars, but I don't believe as a nation are going to be, oh, this thing stopped. Or stalled. Oh, my computer froze. Okay. Come on, buddy. All right, my computer froze. Let me start it again. Wow. There's got to be a reason for that. Okay. What happened? Oh, it doesn't want to work. What the hey? Y'all, this is so freaking bizarre. Like, I kid you not. Hang on one second. Let me try this again. Oh, wow. All right, there buddy. Okay.
So what?
Okay, here we go. Crazy, isn't it? So, is it recording? Let me see. There we go. That's what I want to hear. So, when it comes to the time for negotiation, right? For whatever, negotiation for peace, negotiation for, whatever, political, military, whatever negotiations, we will not be in a position of power to, like we always historically had, like the American government, the American country has always been historically in a position of power to be able to negotiate. We won't have that. Now there's one thing I want to look up with this particular thing. Where did it go? I'm going to go so far as to say, if I can see this right. The European community, the European government, and I am going to go so far as to say the British government is going to play an integral part in all of this drama as well that's going on. So I don't know where we are as a country, but I will tell you, y'all, it's not just the Middle East, as in, Israel and whoever else is going on. It also extends to the East, the kings of the East. So I'm going to leave it at that, because then it can kind of gets a little too I don't know what's going on with this. Is it even recording? Is that recording? Quick changes will be coming, y'all. Quick changes will be coming. And with this quick changes are going to be coming. But I also see that if the United States government is in talks in terms of negotiation for or with another government for releasing prisoners or whatever, or bargaining or exchange of terrorists who have been imprisoned here, that's not going to go down very well for us. And I'm also going to say Venezuela, for whatever reason, does play a very important role in all of this as well, because I do believe that, I do not know what the current political, we know about Haiti, right? Haiti, however you say that, it's like a crazy situation there, but I don't know about what's going on with Venezuela, but it's not, if the United States government thinks that they will be able to partner with Venezuela in terms of being able to for resources, fossil fuel, they hold the largest fossil fuel, I do believe, it's not going to bode very well. And I will say, y'all, whoever these two people are, I'm going to have to be very careful how I say this. Safety and security of our premiers is also in the cards here. One more. so safety and security of our premiers should be taken into consideration. Safety and security of anything to do with transportation should be taken into consideration for the general public as well. Then we have this other card which says there's a great effort being put in to subdue, to stop facts from being released with regards to what's happening with the bridge issue, and there are going to be other issues as well. A lot of effort is going to be put to subdue, to downplay that. Like they are really going to try really hard to downplay that and say, you know what, like, no, that's not what it is. We know they're already doing that, but it's not just that one situation. There are other situations that have occurred also and will occur that they're going to really, really put in a lot of effort to drown it, to subdue it, to stop it from being brought out into the open, because, I mean, you will have an uprising. Then we have this card, the Queen of Coins. Now, as we know, the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles does talk about somebody who is what's the word? Very into caring, taking care of maternal, managing the finances, managing the home, managing the hearth. So I would associate this card with not a female per se, but how shall I say it? Because it's all about the prosperity, right? So I would what is the bank? The United States Bank, y'all. What is it called? Damn it. Treasury. Trying to do something with regards to, I don't know, I'm not going to go so far as to say print more money, but it almost seems like handing out money. Okay, now yes, handing out money to all these whoever these people are who are responsible for the bridges, in terms of, I'm sure they're all insured up the yin yang. It's not just handing out money to them, but handing out money to those who have been injured, yada yada. But this is also, okay, we really need to go and figure out what to do in terms of our budget, what to do in terms of our treasury, what to do in terms of our finances, what to do in terms of our finances and our ability to continue to fund the kings of the East. They are looking directly at each other here. So are we going to continue to give it to them? Are we going to continue to fund them? And how much? Or should we dial it down? So that's a big situation. And I will say, so when I say kings of, I will say, oh yeah. The kings of the East, very clearly Christian state and non-Christian states. So singular, plural. So figure that out. Then we have the air card, the ace of, swords, if you will. Not looking too good. I don't know how else to say it. It's conflict. It's conflict because of the situation that we really put ourselves in, right? As a government, as the United States government, we put ourselves in, right? So conflict. There's so much whirling, so much twirling, so much trying to figure out clarity, so many things happening that it's like a whirlwind. They're unable to have the inability to come to a clear decision, a clear viewpoint, a clear stance. It's a hot mess. Because it's like the ripple effect, right? Okay, so we have one faction where we have our internal, transportation being affected, right? Then we have this drama going on with the Middle East and Ukraine and Russia, and then we have all this other drama going on with property prices going on. It's like it's a ripple effect. Everything is connected to everything else, and here we are like, oh, let's not focus on this. Well, you have to. You got to focus on everything. You can't just ignore something and focus on something else. I'm confused. Okay, like I'm confused as in like I don't understand why 90% of the American public know what really is going on, what the problem is, and we are calling out the authorities, but they are not. They're just ignoring the people. So that is with I will say again. When is the next? Where are we at? Hang on one second. We are in April, right? In Gemini season, there will be a really intense whirlwind of public outcry, and there is, I will not be surprised if there is going to be a lot of action in terms of our airways, right? Airways. Now, literally airways as in the skies, and literally air waves, I'd say that. So then we have this very earth element coming up here and saying, all right, I'm going to have to I'm going to make an offer. I'm going to try to come to an agreement, like a coalition, like a partnership. I'm willing to offer you the apple, but yeah, I'm not so sure I want to take that. So these are all the situations that are going to occur with regards to our government and governments of other countries. It's not to, and I see this page of pentacles. Y'all, I'm not going to show this card because this is I hope it's not going to be that visible, because these cards are a little intense, y'all, to be honest. America is not going to fare very well in all of this negotiations and in all of that. We literally are not. So it's not going to fare very well. We are not going to fare very well. These pictures, pictorially, these cards are very interesting. This is a fantastic deck. I love this deck. Very intense energy. And pictorially, I don't want to show it because some people may misconstrue. And whatever all said and done, I'm an American, and my allegiance is to this country, and I don't want to in any way, shape or form disrespect or show imagery that is not, the cards. It's not like, oh, I'm disrespecting the country by using these cards. It's a little, we are not going to fare very well. We are going to be getting a good spanking, let's put it that way. So, and I am really concerned for the solar eclipse in Pisces. That's yeah. New government. Not looking good. New government, okay. We have the Empress over here, and the Empress does talk about, of course, it's Venus, etc., etc. New government being formed. It's going to be like a coalition government, I believe. And whoever has been like caught in the midst of gluttony, as in like court cases and because of all the shenanigans that they're going to be called, their numbers up. So records are being maintained, things are being noted. See, I'm going to go back to our intelligence agencies, be it the FBI, be it the CIA, whatever. There are records of all that has transpired, okay, with regards to the intelligence that they've gathered way ahead, way back when, with what's possible, what's not going to happen. But for some reason, that evidence, that information has been kept like controlled, not to leak out, that's going to come out. Yeah, that's going to come out. And then we have 10 here. I feel like our economy is going to be really hit, y'all, in terms of, and then again we have the Ace of Books over here. Let me, hang on. I do believe, I'm going to stop this here. We may be living in a little bit of a la-la land, thinking that, oh, you know, we Bernie, stop. Oh my goodness. We are, hey Bernie. Sorry about that, y'all. My sidekick Bunny is laying down here, and I have hardwood floors, and he's laying on that, and then his nails, he's having a dream, so he's like running, he's making so much of noise, so I'm trying to like, don't make all that noise, kiddo. What was I saying? We may be living in la-la land thinking, oh, we've gotten over the worst of it, our economy is really not tanking, everything is fine. There is a certain faction of public who believe that. There is a certain faction of public who think, whoa, it's all hell in a handbasket. And there are a lot of people who are kind of holding their breath. I do believe this whole drama with regards to the real estate is not going to, real estate market, the trends, whatever, is not going to ease up. We're going to be in a bit of a tight situation, sticky situation. And all these other things that are happening are really, in a way, deviations to distract us from the reality of what's going on. Our control in the Middle East, our negotiation powers, we don't have it no more. The kings of the East, I'm sure there are a lot of people who will be commenting, and please do. I really want to know your thoughts about this. In the Bible, what do they mean by kings of the East? So, I'm sure I have a Bible somewhere. I just have to go look at it. I'm not about to do it right now while we are on the camera. And I'm not trying to kind of bring in the religion, the religious aspect into this, but it will tell you, something. But this whole situation, we lost control. We should have never gotten involved. We all know that now, but we created the situation. So now we are going to be, all this while we are like, oh, you know what, we're just going to hang back. No way. We are going to be pulled into this. There is going to be negotiation. Release our so-called terrorists, release this one, release that one, give us this, give us that, and then we'll do this, we'll do that. It's not looking very good for the United States government. That's what I'm going to say. Let me stop with that. And you're recording? Yes. Oh, okay. 5 of Cups, the Emperor, and the Knight of Cups. Not looking very good, y'all. I'm going to say there are going to be 2 more such incidences with regards to bridges and waterways. Aries, this solar eclipse, I'm going to say watch out for that. Then we have the Knight of Cups. There's going to be kind of sort of an emotional situation that's going to happen around then. Emotional situation for all of us in terms of American people. Remember, solar, it's the ego, the physical body, the self, eclipse, to be removed. And here we have one more popped out over here which says 9 of Wands, stay within your bounds, y'all. So I'm just going to leave that. Oh, well, and then we have the star card, Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Trying to find balance, sudden changes and shocks, but with certain limitations as well. Limited help. See, whatever help is coming in, part of it is it's like you're pouring water, and you know, you're pouring water into two containers. One is fine, the other container also, which is collecting the water, it's accumulating. The other one you're pouring, but it has a hole and it's leaking out. So not enough help is basically help, yes, but not enough help. I'm going to stop with those cards. I'm going to use this. Forbidden knowledge, then we have reinvention, instruction, reinvention, respite, assistance, and memory. What I'm going to say is, what is truly, okay, let's face it, as the citizens of this country, and I think it happens in most countries, we really don't know exactly the extent, the depth of it. I mean, maybe these days, because we have all these independent news channels and independent, you know, investigators, and, you know, because of where we are in terms of, internet, everything is out in the open, you know, news is instantaneous, and, you know, that sort of a thing. People have the ability, they have access, and they're able to kind of look for themselves, read for themselves, investigate for themselves, find out for themselves. In spite of that, we really don't know everything that's really happening truly, right? In the White House, in the government, the decisions they're taking. We'll never know. They'll never let us know, because knowledge is power. And imagine if we had that knowledge, how much power the public would have. And do you think these politicians will be able to survive? Hell no. Every one of them are a bunch of, in my humble opinion, I truly believe that you cannot get up to that level in the office by being an angel. That's all I'm going to say. Then we have instructions will be given, the manipulation of knowledge. A great effort is going to be made to reinvent what we know of as our government and our economic situation, but I doubt that's going to really happen. I will say though, what we know of, remember the 2008 economy, the when it crashed, and the various other times all that happened in the 19s and whatever, what we know of, what we know of the economy as, no, how should I say it? The economy as we know it is forever changed. The governance as we know it is forever changed. The country as we know it is forever changed. Like, it's very strong, very, when I talk about change, this is not a change like a temporary change, right? It's like forever change. For example, you have a flat tire, you put that little patch, and then your tire is fine, and you run it for some time, right? So that's a little bit of a change, right? And on the other hand, your tire is completely shredded, and now you have to get a brand new tire. That's a more permanent change. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. But for those who really have that higher level of consciousness or such, and even otherwise, people think about it. Think about how we are, what our state of awareness is as we go about our daily life. Do you not feel like you're in a holding pattern? It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think so. So I'm going to stop at this before I get any further and kind of get too serious. I will record why am I saying that now? Well, anyway, let me stop. I was going to say I will record an intro and an outro, but Anyway, so thank you very much for watching this video. Please know that this is for entertainment purposes only. These are allegedly, these are my observations and my opinions. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. This is not a video to fearmonger people or anything like that. This is just based on what I am seeing. A lot of you people asked me to do this reading with regards to the bridge situation. It is all interconnected in my opinion. Also, I want to say, please, if you want to leave your comments, if you have nothing nice to say, don't even bother. If anybody leaves any nasty comments, I will erase and I will block those people, those usernames or whatever. You are entitled to your opinions, I am, but please don't come on and leave nasty comments. I just am going to erase it and block you. I'm just saying. So thank you very much to the Real family. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed. Please give me a thumbs up, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I put up new videos. If you have any other particular subjects that you want me to do a reading on, let me know. I will say, y'all, this energy that we are going to see for the next few months and from now until the end of the year, they are pretty intense energies. This is, you know, every year we have lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, yada yada, true, but this is something that seems to have a more, that undercurrent is really strong, you know. It's, I almost want to say sinister, but I suppose that's not the right word to use. The undercurrent, the after effects, the intensity, it's really strong. It's like, okay, you know, you're swimming in the ocean. It's like, oh, it's not just 100 feet deep, but it's like 100 miles deep. So, you know what I mean? So the effects of these energies that we are going through from now until the end of the year are going to really affect us for a long, long time. Not just like they say 2 months, 3 months type of situation. So thank you again. And I do personal readings. The information is in the description box. You can visit my website, www.therealtarot1123.com. All the information is there as to the kind of readings and how you may go about that. I do not do same day readings, so give me some time, at least 48 hours. Anyway, all right, thank you everybody, and take care, and see you in the next video. Bye for now. All right, let's turn this off.